Can you go back to the edit part of it?
Yep, right here.
And I think we were back on the highlight reel. So add highlight, tour settings. So there we go. So I see you're doing story tour, which is that first version. But if you set it to highlight reel, now we'll see the thumbnails at the bottom.
Test that out. Here you go. You got the thumbnails at the bottom.
So and there's a little caret to go up or down and play. And this way, if you want to display those buttons at the bottom, or what I think of thumbnails and what Matterport calls a highlight reel, then it gives the person viewing the tour the option to jump from space to space to space by clicking on that thumbnail. And then if you could go back to that, how you did that to show the highlight reel. So you see the button is checked, allow visitors to play and pause the tour. I would say, sometimes you may not want to do this if you were, let's say, at an exhibit and you didn't want people to interrupt the tour and you wanted it just to play. The client might have a computer set up in a lobby as people walk in, and you don't necessarily want to give people that opportunity to play tour, and that's what that is. And then the highlights again is to show a series of some thumbnails for each stop. That's what Tom just enabled. And then you can not have you can not have any of this show up, and then I think you're going to show a couple other options.
So transition again, you can globally within the tour set it to slideshow or walkthrough, and you can always override it for each highlight that you're doing. You can change the speed of the walkthrough, and that's the transition speed, and you can change the speed of the slideshow here. And then with panning, again, we can do left, right, auto, the rotational speed, the dollhouse rotational speed, floor plan zoom speed, so you can really kind of dial it in to what your preference is. And that could be good for a larger space. You may want to speed it up. A slower space, you may want to slow it down, that sort of thing.
Cool. And I would add here that if you're particularly interested in highlight reel and walkthrough, there are third-party platforms that kind of do this on steroids and even simplify the workflow some. So
yeah.
We get around networkforum.com, go up to the top, it says marketplace, you can look for solutions. Anything else to show us on highlight reel walkthrough?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, I guess I would just add when you showed the last part where you can have you can adjust. Does it pan left? Does it pan right? Is the transition quick? Is it not quick? Is it zooming in? Is not zooming in? All those different features you're probably not using on a residential real estate listing where you're not making a whole lot of money, because all this stuff takes time. But you might have a client that's a museum or some other event space where it may make sense to do a deeper dive to tweak this. And that may be one of the ways you can help differentiate yourself from another Matterport service provider, because you walk in and you have this awesome walkthrough experience that someone else hasn't figured out how to master rotation speed, dollhouse rotation speed, floor plan zoom speed, transitions, etc. So a nice way to stand out when you have the appropriate client.
Yeah. Yep.